Samuel and God's Mercy. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a majestic mountain range, there lived a man named Samuel. His life was filled with challenges and hardships. Although he was a kind-hearted man, always ready to help those around him, his business endeavors never seemed to succeed. Each time he failed, he felt more and more abandoned. He began to ask himself, does God truly hear my prayers? Why does everything I do lead to failure? On many late nights, as the dim light from his oil lamp flickered in his humble home, Samuel would sit by the window, gazing at the starry sky and wondering, why is my life filled with difficulties and suffering when I've tried to live well and wholeheartedly trust in God? One day, when he could no longer bear his despair, Samuel decided to embark on a journey. He had heard stories about a distant mountain where miracles were said to happen, and where people found the faith that changed their lives. It was said that anyone who reached the summit would receive a sign, a light, or a word of guidance from God to transform their life. With a fragile hope, Samuel began his journey. The journey was arduous. Day by day, Samuel faced both physical and mental challenges. The path up the mountain was rugged and difficult, and at times, he felt he could go no further. There were moments when he wanted to give up and return to his old life. But whenever that thought crossed his mind, he would hear a whisper in his heart. Keep going. Don't give up. Your faith is leading you. And so, he continued his journey. After a long period of time, Samuel finally reached the summit of the mountain. However, what he did not expect was that there was no miraculous sign or great wonder waiting for him. At the peak, there was only a small, humble house where an elderly man sat, waiting to greet him. Samuel walked into the house, tired and disappointed. He sat down and asked the elderly man, "Sir, I have traveled all this way searching for a sign, for a miracle from God, but I haven't seen anything. Does God really hear my prayers?" The elderly man smiled gently, his eyes shining with deep understanding. He said, "God is always listening to you, Samuel, but he is not just found in grand signs. He is present in every step you take, in every decision you make, in every time you rise after failure. Your faith is not something God gives you once. It is a long journey, where each small step is accompanied by his presence." Samuel was silent, his heart overwhelmed with emotions he couldn't describe. He realized that he had been searching for faith in distant places, in unrealistic miracles, while true faith lay in the everyday life he was living, in the challenges he faced, and in his ability to keep moving forward. The elderly man continued, "Remember, faith is not about seeking a sign or a miracle. Faith is believing in God's presence in your life, even when you cannot see him. Faith is when you trust that, even in the darkest and most difficult moments, the light will always shine and he will guide you to peace." Samuel felt a gentle wave of light fill his heart. He understood that life was not always easy, but each step in faith was a small miracle that God had granted. When he returned home, Samuel no longer sought out miraculous signs. He lived with a firm belief that God was always by his side, walking with him through every step, whether in hardship or happiness. From then on, Samuel no longer feared. He believed in God's presence in every moment. His faith grew stronger than ever, and he knew that no matter how challenging life became, God would always be the source of strength to help him keep moving forward. This story emphasizes that faith is not something found instantly, but is a journey that requires patience and perseverance. God is always present in each of our steps, even when we cannot see him with our eyes.